Hey y'all, Stacy here. Thank you so much for joining me for What I Warmed Scentsy Edition, the first full week of March. How is it already the first full week of March? I do not understand how we got here so quickly. Now, I do have a mix that I'm really excited to share with you. Before we get started, as a quick reminder, I do use mostly 25 watt and up Scentsy Warmers. As I am a Scentsy consultant, they're typically on for 15 hours a day. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch. You guys, today's first empty is a bit of a cautionary tale and we will get into it, but this is one of my favorite retired bars. It's Dancing Sugar Plum. Its scent notes are rich spiced plum, vanilla, and sweet cinnamon apple. I feel like the plum here is just very subtly spiced. It's beautiful and that spice provides a richness, and I would say it makes up about 70% of the fragrance. The remaining 25% is that wonderful vanilla, and then maybe 5% is the cinnamon apple. It's always been a great performer for me. It's a beautiful plum scent, but we have to talk about the cautionary tale portion. Do you see how this is sort of crunched down and you can see so much melting inside this bar? This bar didn't, well, it did come to me like this, but it came to me from a friend. Wait until you see the inside of this thing. It's awful. It was melted, it was squished, it was compressed. Now, she and I bought these bars at the same time. However, her bar ended up stored very poorly. So her bars got really wrecked. And this was on the bottom of her long-term wax storage bin, and it just got decimated. So how did that happen to her? Well, I typically keep my wax bars on the coolest internal wall in my home and as much as I can away from direct sunlight. Appliances, humidity, and water. Now, she had elected to put her bars in her laundry room. Her laundry room is a cooler room in her house and it's large, so she had put it on the storage cabinet that was furthest away from her actual washer, dryer, and sink. However, you can see here, this is just really completely melted and squished. This bar was on the bottom of that bin, and at some point, her spouse elected to move that bin to directly over her dryer. So quite a few of her bars, and especially the ones that were on the bottom of her bin, got really squished and sweaty. That broke my heart for her, and I knew that I had 4 in good shape Dancing Sugar Plum bars, so I offered to trade her my in good shape Dancing Sugar Plum bar for her melted and funky Dancing Sugar Plum bars, and I can report that I got a beautiful 15 hours. I didn't see any change in performance, which I really did expect to maybe have. I knew I was going to have some scent, but to have full scent and full throw, I was really happy. It was just a messy melt, but still a good melt. And I do think it would have gone longer, but I was ready for a change in my open concept. Now, this is a bar that I was super excited to try because I did not get it when it was originally available, but I picked it up in the flash sale. This is the Coco Familia bar, and it lists with Aztec Marigold, Night Blooming Jasmine, and Warm Vanilla Amber. It doesn't list a honey note in here, but to me, I felt like I got this warm floral honey scent from this. I had shared before that we have marigold in our vegetable garden, and it's like a pest deterrent. It's not something that I consider like a floral scent that I would gravitate towards, but I would 100% pick up this bar again. I think the Night Blooming Jasmine is there, and I definitely picked that up. And I'm going to have to double check, but I feel like maybe Night Blooming Jasmine is what is in Midnight Masquerade, which is another one of my favorite bars that I also melted this week. But that's a beautiful one, and I got a good full day of performance out of it, and then I swapped it. That was open concept. Posy Peach is one of those scents that was not a standout to me in the Bring Back My Bar that just passed. It's like fuzzy ripe peach and violet leaf, and I don't feel like it gives either of those notes. The peach is definitely present. It's not a bad peach to my nose, but it's not my favorite peach. And I don't know that I discern anything other than just a soft floral body care peach, but that's nice to have every now and then. Closed concept living, beautiful melt, full day. From a nice to have bar to a love to have bar, this is Top Dog, and it is a beautiful green apple scent to me that leans to be like a green apple with a whisper of lily. And it is like a full lily. Like I do get the green notes that come with a lily, but it's more like air of lily as opposed to the actual floral note. There's also raspberry in there, but I do not pick up the raspberry note. Not saying it's not there, I just don't pick it up. Now, the reason that I pulled one of my 4 bars of this that I'm hoarding is because someone who I don't know if they want to be name checked in my comments section asked me to compare Top Dog to Isle of Clover. And I think this is a very worthy comparison. These bars, to me at least, are cousins. Now, Isle of Clover is one that I am very concerned about that it is an LTO. I don't feel like there's anything that is this much of a grass forward green scent available in the catalog. So if that is your thing, it's worth it to give this a try if you can. Now, it is a green apple scent, and I do believe it's the same green apple that exists in Top Dog, but then it also has meadows of clover leaf and fresh grass. And what I will say in comparing these two is that Top Dog, to me, it is the same measure of green apple for sure, but I feel like the air of lily is really an air of lily. It's a whisper. It definitely is present there. It's not completely gone, but it is not the prominent note. So it is still, in my opinion, a green leaning bar, and it may even be air of meadow of lily, but it's like 20% to the green apple. In Isle of Clover, I feel like it's 50-50. That grass note and that meadow of clover is dominant and it stays present the whole time it melts. Ocean air and coconut water is a retired love of mine. I do not think I have this in my club still. I do have quite a few. I think I have like maybe 4 now of ocean air and coconut water. This was such a beautiful melt. It is just coconut water, driftwood, and ocean air. The ocean air is the dominant note, but the driftwood is definitely there, giving kind of a really relaxing but still productive vibe, if that makes any sense. And we had this going in our closed concept living when we had big projects going on. And this was just a great melt. It always is. I get 2 days out of this bar, so it's a good performer as well. That's 30 hours for me, remember. Now, By the Sea is one that was a special request. One of my kiddos wanted this in their bedroom because they love the ocean air scent. So this has been in their bedroom and they've been working through it for quite a while. It's a beautiful scent. And I do love it in my open concept. It performs there as well, but it really does create kind of a fresh vibe. It's ocean air with dewy seaside grass. And I like that's not a grass forward note. When they say seaside grass, I really do think um, it means like a sweet grass sort of fragrance added. So this is not an overly sweet bar, definitely fresh, gives you the vibe of the ocean side. And oh dear, I have melted through another bar of berry tart. I really love this fragrance and it reminds me of jelly donut. I'm afraid that I melted through a whole bar of this last week and now I've done it again this week and I have to slow my roll. I enjoy this. It came back and bring back my bar. It's sweet berry, buttery pastry, and I believe caramel. To me, it's a beautiful jelly donut scent, and I love it, but I don't want to burn myself out on it, so I'm going to try and not grab one next week. Now, this is one of my favorites. It's in my club, and I have for the last long time only been melting this in my kitchen. This is Midnight Masquerade. Now, I will melt it in other places as well, but it's like in my constant rotation of kitchen melts. It's sugared beignets, smoky vanilla, and midnight lily. I love this in the kitchen because I feel like it partner melts like nobody's business with other fragrances that I have going in adjoining spaces. Strawberries and cream, I finished a whole nother bar of this and I'm so glad that I did. It's beautiful. I am very excited about this. Again, I'm sad that it's an LTO. I wish it was in the catalog. But I do think because this is a scent of the month, we're going to have quite a few months with it. I can't remember exactly how many, and I think we're just in its first month. So we're going to have, I think, 90 days. Don't quote me on that. I'll double check it. But I do like that we have this strawberry pound cake scent to me. I do not pick up lemon zest here. I definitely pick up the whipped cream. It's a beautiful macerated strawberry with whipped cream and I pick up a cake note in here. I don't think everybody picks up the cake note, but I do. And it's not a dominant cake note, but it's mostly that beautiful strawberry whipped cream and then just like a light fluffy cake note in that background. Now, this is Make Me Snickerdoodle, and I've just started playing with it. I used it in a one-to-one mix this week. It's scent notes on its own are cookie dough, brown sugar, vanilla bean, and cinnamon sugar, I think. And I mixed this with Cherry's Jubilee, which is black cherry, raspberry, and zesty lemon. Now, I have mixed this before, Cherry's Jubilee, with sugar cookie, and I felt like Sugar Cookie got swallowed whole by Cherry's Jubilee. So when I tried Make Me Snickerdoodle, I think a couple of weeks ago, I thought, I'm going to maybe see how these two perform together. And I feel like there was so much balance brought by the Make Me Snickerdoodle to the Cherry's Jubilee. Primarily because the vanilla bean and sugar, I think, that exists in Make Me Snickerdoodle when it's on its own just helped to round out the black cherry note and provided an equal measure balance to the brown sugar cookie note that you're left with in Make Me Snickerdoodle. So to me, I feel like what you're left with is a black cherry brown sugar cookie with vanilla, with like notes of vanilla bean and sugar in there as well. So it's a beautiful scent. Do I think it's a dupe for maraschino sugar cookie? No, I do not. I think you could do a 2-to-1 if you want a more dominant cookie note. You're still not going to get to maraschino sugar cookie, but it's beautiful. It's just a darker cookie than what I think you get with maraschino sugar cookie, but it's definitely a mix that I'm going to be trying again, and it was very popular in my home. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear in the comments, where and how do you store your wax? And what's the favorite thing you've melted recently? I can't wait to find out. I'll talk to you soon.